Uh, Hi, Alice.
Hi.
Hardik on the result. Just could you talk about the emotions of it all in the last 3 overs? What was going through your mind as captain in the context of the game as well?
Oh, I think just disappointed. I think ultimately we just weren't sharp enough probably today, probably in all three facets definitely, to give ourselves the opportunity to win that semi-final. I think we did pretty well to hang in there. We created a lot of opportunities and let ourselves down in that regard. So probably sitting here disappointed, knowing that we sort of did that to ourselves a little bit. Not taking anything away from the Indian performance. I thought they played really well, but yeah, there's a little bit of an element of we let ourselves down a little bit.
Hello, Alyssa. How do you process a defeat like this? At the halfway stage, it felt that you had a good score on the board. It's a semi-final. You've batted first. There's crowd and everything, and it's not a total that gets chased every day in women's cricket. What was the chat in your dugout at the halfway mark, and how do you now process this defeat?
Yeah, I think we did really well to get a score like that, winning the toss and batting first. I thought we were awesome. In saying that, I think we could have been a little bit better and got a few more, ironically. But look, that's the nature of the game at the moment. We're playing on good wickets against good sides, and teams are chasing scores like that down, or even setting scores like that more frequently, which I think is amazing from a more of a context of the entire game, which I think is really cool. So yeah, I think at the halfway mark we thought we went okay. We thought we still had a pretty big job to do with the ball, and ultimately I just think we dished up a little bit too much junk to hit at times, and also probably just didn't capitalise on the opportunities that we did create. So yeah, disappointing. It sort of feels a little bit un-Australian to be, not as clinical as what we normally are. Knowing how well we've played this World Cup, feels a little bit disappointing sitting here.
We saw some dropped catches today. Do you think that changed the course of the match? Was it the semi-final pressure?
It definitely changed the course of the match. Was it semi-final pressure? Maybe. Was it just concentration? Was it anything? I'm not sure. We could put that down to whatever. But like I said, on a pretty decent wicket that seemed to be getting better and better to bat on as the night went on, to create those opportunities that we did and not capitalise, I think was disappointing. Yep.
Hi, Alyssa. Tough luck today. So just looking back at the World Cup, you've obviously had your some of, I think, really great moments out there, and today it was one of those days where you couldn't put things right. I mean, put things together, I guess. So looking back, what is your biggest takeaway from this particular tournament?
Oh, I think we're playing some unbelievable cricket, and that's why it doesn't quite feel right sitting here at the losing end, not sort of getting to Sunday's fixture. I thought we played really well right throughout this World Cup, and I simply say that because of the different contributions that we had right throughout. It wasn't just one person making all the runs or taking all the wickets. I think the team contributed equally right throughout, which I think, put us in a really nice place heading into this final series. So I think there's some huge positives out of it. I think this next 4-year cycle leading into the next World Cup is going to be really exciting for our group, and potentially see some really cool opportunities for some of the younger players to get greater opportunities in this side, which I think is going to improve the Australian team, which I think is really cool. So a lot of positives out of it. We just weren't able to get the job done tonight, which is disappointing.
Hi, Lisa. Jemima, I'm sure you'll agree, Jemima played one heck of a knock today. At what point in the field did you sort of feel the momentum shifted towards India through the course of her stay on the field?
Yeah, I think oddly, I think we're still in it with 4 or 5 overs to go, probably 5 overs to go. I think we're still in it. Funny things happen in games of cricket when it gets tight like that. If you can put enough pressure on an opposition, things can unfold. So yeah, she played really well tonight. Obviously, like I said, we gave her a couple of opportunities which didn't help us, but I thought she played really well. I think her resilience, her mental resilience out there to get her team over the line was exemplary. So full credit to her.
Alyssa, we'll have a new champion on Sunday, and you along with England and New Zealand will have a companion in terms of the title holders for World Cup. Mm-hmm. What do you think this new winner can do to world women's cricket?
Oh, I think it's really cool, and I think it's probably a showcase of this tournament. I think I've heard many people say that this is, the closest tournament they've ever played in when it comes to ODI World Cups, and I tend to agree. You look at the performances. Obviously, rain played a little bit of a part in Colombo, and probably, the bottom 4 teams probably suffered a little bit more in that regard. But I think, there was genuinely 8 teams in finals contention, which I thought was really cool. And I think to see a new winner is going to do wonders for the game. To see how well it's been supported here in India, first and foremost, I think it's great for them to be able to have the opportunity to play it at home in front of home fans in an ODI World Cup final is going to be really special for them. So I hope it does great things for Indian cricket, and likewise for South Africa as well. I think they've been close in the past, so for them to have an opportunity in a final, it's going to be great to watch. It's going to hurt a little bit, but it's going to be really great to watch, and hopefully we see it do great things for the global game and more investment in each of these nations moving forward.
Alyssa, between these 2 losses in the semi-final, one in 2017 and the one tonight,
Yep.
there was a 15-match unbeaten run. If I may say, Australia responded to that loss with a 15-match unbeaten run. How do you see this group responding from tonight going forward? And in terms of building to the next World Cup, and also how many seniors, the number of seniors that are around in this group, what should be the road ahead for them? You're there, Elise is there.
Yeah, good question. I think first and foremost, I think the opportunity for some of our players to play in a really high pressure situation like that is going to do wonders for our group. And I think the same thing happened in 2017. We reflected on that and thought we could have done things a little bit better under pressure, and where we can be better at little certain aspects of our game moving forward. And I think we made that shift moving forward, and we've seen it over the last cycle doing that. We won in 2022, so this is just another reignition, I suppose, to our group to say, we can be better at little moments of the game. But I guess for our group to experience that, to be put under pressure and see how we respond is going to do great things for us moving forward. So that's really cool. I hope we see more one-day cricket on the calendar. I think that's going to be really important in this cycle. We see a lot of teams in this World Cup that obviously we're forced to play against in the Women's Championship, but I think more bilateral series are going to be amazing for the global game in that regard, and make sure that these World Cups are highly competitive. So that'd be really cool, and obviously the opportunity to see the next generation come through and play the one-day cricket the way that they are, the way that they can, and really take the game on, which I think we've seen towards the back end of this World Cup. So I think it's really exciting times for the women's game.
Hi, you've lost, but there's a bright spot in your team in Phoebe Litchfield, the way she batted. A word on her, given the fact that she has these shots in her repertoire that works in subcontinents as well as back home in Australia in the bouncy conditions, and almost seems like, from an Indian point of view, an apt replacement for Meg Lanning being consistent against India. What is, tell us about the makings of Phoebe Litchfield, if I may.
Yeah, I think she's just a really natural, free-flowing player, and that's been really great for our power play in one-day cricket. And today she was able to cash in on that and get herself a score, which I think was really crucial at that point in time. So, yeah, she's been great. And like I said, I think this is sort of what happens at the end of a cycle. We see the next generation come through, and then they play the game slightly differently to what we did. We have for long periods of time. So it's really exciting. She's key in our group. Obviously, really handy in the field as well, and drives standards in that regard. So she's a great player in our side, and I'm looking forward to see what she can do moving forward.
Hi, Alyssa. Again, sorry to take you back to that one partnership between Jemmy and Harman.
Yep.
Harman has been part of, many has been like sort of a very vital cog for India in many knockout games against Australia, and many a times her wicket has been the reason why India sort of crumbled towards the end.
Yep.
But today that did not happen. Talk us about the frustration of seeing the same player pulling it off again and again. I mean, she pulled it off technically today, but just the frustration of that partnership when it was building and it built up to be such a game-changing one.
Yeah, frustration's probably not the right word. I mean, they're two high-quality cricketers and have been for a long period of time for India, and we knew that. It's a good wicket, good batting conditions. and we probably just allowed them into the game a little bit by not sticking to our strengths with the ball for long enough. So that was probably the most frustrating part about it. It wasn't so much that it's them out there doing their thing, because we're used to seeing that, and we're used to sort of problem solving and working it out on the field ourselves to take that wicket and break that partnership. So look, kudos to them. I thought they played really well, and Harman seems to step up in those big moments when India need her. So she's going to have to do it all again on Sunday to get them over the line. Thank you.